What's your plan? I know nothing. Voice chat knows. What stock was that again? Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Unc coming at you this week. Quick bit of news to start with. We're getting some plays as well as some reviews from last week, just to keep you up to date on what's good in the RTSA room currently. Um, this week, Monday is 31st. Remember, that is the last day of the month. A lot of the bigger institutions and places like to sell on that day, rotate stuff in and out. Be mindful of that. Tuesday, big day for Chinese EV, NIO, XPEV, Lee. Watch those names, especially in the challenge. Then we have some bigger names: AMD, Google, Amazon, Facebook, all of the ER this week. Hopefully that'll be a good signal on a market direction for you guys. Those ER shouts not to play. Maybe play the run up or the rebound after the ER comes out. Holding through ER right now does seem like a gamble, but we're watching again AMD, Google, Amazon, and Facebook. The bigger names, to see how they perform. XOM, CVX also have ER, as well as Spotify, currently a big news controversial ticker, and Qualcomm. Also TSP, AVR, and Waymo. These are autonomous vehicle plays that we're looking at. Ford also has ER as well this week, so we'll be on a big overall vehicle EV things with wheels week. All right, first play we have here is Professors Jumiwana Technologies, JMIA. This is, I believe it's like a Nigerian Amazon. I've charted some levels. I really like the consolidation down here at 6.5 and 8, with continuation maybe to a play 12 off the 8 with good news. 19 being the area you look for the bigger trend breakout. You back this thing up on the 3-year here, and you could see that it definitely has some pretty high watermarks along the way. What the professor sees in the flow currently is 11 to 11, $8 calls, and then 14 and 19 spring and summer leaps. This was a flow play found in the flow that the RTL lined up, and both are in an A+ setup in our opinions. All right, the next one we have here is IPOF, another heavy flow play from the professor. I really like the 9.7 level here, all the way to 10.2. I just like this box. And I see heavy breakout after 11. We have 218 calls for 11, and his notes are 14 heavy volume on the 12.5 call and the $14 call. So we're really looking for continuation more than in the zone it's in, and back up in this area from the longer time span. I really do currently like this from my scripts. Anything in this area. This is another A+ flow setup that has a pretty good technical analysis setup as well. And another one here from the professor, Hemonex Technologies. This one I do feel like he's pounded the table on for quite some time. Probably played the first move, to be honest with you, and it's back here on the same support level from previous ads. This was obviously a great move if you're getting this at 10 and selling this at 18, or anything in between. If you look at the chart, pretty monster move off of this low level, and we've had a lot of back and forth through this area. So the $10 level looks really good. It's kind of thick to 12, but after that it takes off. Looking at the notes, we have 2 18 $12 calls and 3 18 $4 calls. This is what you would call walking it up, I believe. My personal notes is that 12 to 16 is pretty thick, but if you can get it, even the 10 to the 12 is a 20% move. If we get ads any lower than that, You could get a pretty good dip, but I'm confident with both the flow and the RTL that this thing should retest these levels here again, especially this $12 level. Again, the calls were 218 $12 call and 318 $14 call is what the flow suggested. Pretty big name here with Starbucks. This one I've been adding personally for long-term shares under 95 is what I've looked for. I haven't got that yet, so I'm scaling in pretty small. But if we go to the flow, we have March 105, 106 calls. ER is also coming up. RTL is here on the chart, pretty much 90, 104, 110. Depends on your levels. Break out to 120 as possible, but even this testing back to this 104, 105 by earnings, and see if they continue to walk the calls up after this ER. Definitely be mindful. I personally think under $100 is a good entry, but if you can get it at 90, even better. All right, this one's a little different. It's one of my RTL plays that we played off 8 for a few, maybe a month and a half, and came back up into the flow recently. I still like the company and the chart. I have RTL pretty much on the Sykes. I have 410, 6, and 8, as you can see on the chart. We have call volume right now, 218, $11 call, and then heavy volume on the 4, which is April 14th, 1250 and $14 call. Again, this is a Bitcoin dependent in my opinion. It runs off of that. It has definitely some pretty big spikes, but we're still in an overall good harmonic trend upward, especially if we hold this $4 level. Even retesting half the zones gives us the 10, 11, 12 range, which is where the calls are calling right now. Just a great spot. I definitely love adding this thing below $8. Fubu here. Still don't think we're out of the woods on this one yet, but we did get a nice pop on Friday. Playing this off the all-time low. Pretty easy play there. Watching for 10.5 to confirm. There is some flow reads that suggest we should test the $13 range. Here I have 1450 on the chart, so if we do get moving in that direction, that's a reasonable landing spot. And then we'll watch to see if they leap those forwards. Pretty decent company, getting beat down. It's just at a really, really bad spot, retesting the beginnings. But you know, even if I put this higher line up here to kind of say, don't worry about this. This was all hype. But even back here at this double top, 34 is a great run from the $9 and $10 ads. All right, here's this chart I like from the company standpoint and technical standpoint that has came up in the flow, and I'm just staying on it. Currently bouncing here off this, basically the $3 psychological level, which I think is a great place to add rig, especially for a day trade. Checking the flow, I believe we have some calls here to the $4 level, but we're still trending up on this trend line that we drew about 2 months ago. As long as we stay on this pace, I'm fine. This would still be my target to reassess the situation as far as the flow goes in news. Offshore oil drilling, robotics basically is what we have here. If the professor calls this though, especially on the call side, this is almost for me a guaranteed winner. All right, now your favorite parts. Review of the plays from last week. First here we have SDC. Calling this off the $2 psych. Got that big crazy dip Monday. But it gave us that $2 ads twice because we got to get on Friday for a day trade. This is still offering great range. You're getting the 10%, you're getting the 30 cents. For you guys that have a decent size account that can buy, 500 to 1,000 shares, this is the one. This is the one right now. We still do have flow reads on this thing. March strikes $4 and $5, so it's good to dabble down here in these low twos if we're going to go to $4 and $5 strikes. Again, this is overall just a great chart to learn on. If you look at this thing, pretty much revolves around the $2 level, and most of the chart, if you draw a line straight here on the $2 level, is above that level. So, you add in the red, sell in the green. And this one kind of was the other way. It was a little bit of a call. more of a tier two call for people that know how to find plays in good news or bad news in this case, or no news and good TA. But Lucid, when I say the work has already been done, this candle right here is what I'm talking about. We bought off this candle and made a pretty penny um, moving this thing into the mid to upper 50s. Um, for me, the work had already been done, and you continue to watch the chart, you continue to study the chart, you continue to play the chart. So when this one's called or mentioned, it should be taken seriously because of the information is basically the entire history of the stock. Um, just kind of felt that we were going to continue the downtrend that had started a while back. When we turned the corner here under 34, I believe it was that I called. I just knew it would continue down to 27, which that 30 wouldn't be a catch, which to me is a pretty big drop when a stock drops from 30s. This 34, yeah. So when this broke, you just kind of knew it was going to come all the way down here, and it had broken the day before, so that was my first tell, and it really didn't recover much in the pre-market, and we had a great consolidation box. Good pump for the RTL system. Um, right here, it just did not get out of it. It popped up that hey, we're gonna have trouble. We're gonna have trouble here, and it did. Fell through pre-market. Excuse me, fell through low of day previous day, and continued on to what we call no man's land. Found a spot, but next day it came out pre-market level. It did not hold the pre-market low. Let's zoom in a little bit here. It did not hold the low of the day or pre-market low pretty well. It attempted to a little bit and continued the downtrend throughout the day. So big hitters could have took that to 25, selling out here. Maybe even got a re-entry once or twice once you're playing the motion. Um, just trust the information, especially on stocks that we're on constantly. Talk a little bit about X spot here. Although I'm thinking DNA is starting to be the better play, but it came off pre-market low perfectly. Again, another pump for the RTL system. Holla at me in my DMs. Just came off pre-market low pretty well. Back up here to the high. I believe that was the high a day. Yeah, the high a day previous day. And also we had pre-market low and the low a day line up there. Anytime you get that double line, it's a real good sign. This doesn't hold this 138 area though. I believe we could go. I believe we could go back to $1. Let me bring up the year chart. Yeah, I believe we could go back down to $1. I believe we could do one of these again if we don't hold this area, because we're already kind of broke this area. So this would be my next area of support. But we have earnings coming up. They did fire their CEO, but everything else still points to this being a decent company, and making a run back to the $3 level someday. But we do have a higher high forming still. So yeah, if you have this 24 ads and we continue, you probably lowballed it. That's a great job. I'm looking for the 38 to hold, maybe buy off 44 like the CEOs did. But again, I like the DNA play a little better. They do have the partnership together, and this is down here around $5. It's pretty much the bottom for me. This just has a little more range now. So those are two plays I'm pretty much in religiously from here on out. As well as I will mention RE, because it's on my master list for RTL members. We're back here at the $4 level. Only thing we don't have this time is we don't have the news yet. We lucked out and we were early on the news last time, so now we might be able to get this level back in here, and we'll zoom in on that. I think it was 370. Excuse me, 340. So $4 to 340 would be my ad zone. Try to get closer to 340 right now. But again, this one really is news dependent, so you kind of are day trading this because it does offer pretty good day trading range. Usually you can get 10 to 15% out of this. Another regular to the RTL members, ASRT, setting up beautifully here since our first ads, back under $1. I can't explain a chart that looks better than this. You just continuously get these higher highs up, and we've been getting these lower lows up. It's a slow grind. I know I said 450 by February, but we're gonna need some news if that's gonna happen. Especially with this area right here being a hard psychological level right now. The basically the $4 level, maybe 375 to 4 is going to be a little bit of trouble. But I still like it. I still like the range. I still like what it offers. What's the best one here? Yeah, these are 10 or 20% candles. Very easy to play this thing off of the RTL system. Yeah, very easy to play this out. It hits the previous days and usually lets you know what it's going to do inside that range. Monday was beautiful for this thing because it held the previous day low, and most stocks did not hold the previous day lows. And then when it breaks out pretty well. Yeah. Alright, not much new this week, fam. We're gonna rinse and repeat. This market's gonna bounce up and down. We're gonna get it and be out. Everyone have a good week. Trade safe. Respect the lines. Get up, get in, get out, but mainly have a fucking plan. Let's go.